EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Navola. We are back in the state of Pennsylvania getting set to kick off the round here at one of the great golf courses in the world, Oakmont Country Club. Frank, you're very familiar with it because you were right in the mix down the stretch at the 1994 U.S. Open right here at Oakmont.
And Rich, it's so good just to be back here. You know, there's so much history in Oakmont. It's been a host to so many prestigious tournaments in our sport, such as the U.S. Amateur, the U.S. Open, the Women's U.S. Open, and the PGA Championship. It's just one of the true gems on the golf landscape.
And now the second shot here at this par 5. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Oh, man. You can't miss him from that distance. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. And now over to the 5th. Frank, we're early in the second round. What have you seen so far?
I've seen a lot that can be improved on too, but there's enough good there. That's the main thing. You know, the scorecard doesn't always reflect how you're playing. But a little bit of basics out there. Fairways, greens, maybe knock a couple of putts in. All of a sudden that scorecard looks different.
Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. That shot does finish up on the green, but it sets up for a very difficult putt. This is a cross-country special.
Normally you'd be happy to take 2 from there. What's one going to feel like? Great putt.
Par 3 6th here at Oakmont. Frank, it's changed a bit since you played here in the U.S. Open back in 1994.
Yes, it has, Rich. They used to have a bunker behind the screen, sort of back left. They've removed that now and actually increased the back of this green. I'm not going to say it makes the hole that much easier. It just gives them a few more places to cut a flag when they choose to stick it in the back.
Ooh, nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Wow, I didn't expect that. She'll be happy with par here. That is a solid par putt right there. All right, Frank, take us down onto the 7th hole, par 4 at 434 yards.
Another one that's just another great driving hole. Bunkers on both sides of the fairway, so you can't really bail out either way. Used to be some trees in that down the right side. They've been removed and replaced now by fescue. So if you do miss those bunkers right or left, it's not exactly the easiest chip out to the fairway. Another one that's a must-hit fairway. Reason why? It's a long par 4, and it's the only way you're going to hit this par 4 and 2.
Frank, what's the player looking at here with the approach shot at the par 4 7th?
The second part of the second shot just goes a little bit downhill, and once again you see that little ski slope look just short of that green. It means you really have to pitch the ball on the front third of the green. Anything further than that, you risk the ball running left into those bunkers.
That will be a great look at birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Frank, the par 3 eighth, it will take a player's very best strike.
Yeah, it's not often you see the odd driver come out of the bag, but when a hole can be stretched out to close to 300 yards, then everybody in the field needs some heavy artillery. It's a big, long par 3. Green does feed a little bit to the left, but at that distance, no hole is easy.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Get down. Look out.
It's over. The green. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop. Rich, these winds haven't subsided at all today. It's certainly a tough test out there right now for these players.
They get your attention, don't they, as a player?
They have club selection right now, vital.
You put the ball back in your stance just a little bit.
If you're going to hit it down.
Pretty good shot right there. Wow, almost whiffed on that putt. Came right out of it. Well short. Shouldn't be a problem here. It happens. You have a tough hole. Time to pick up and move on after the triple bogey. So that is the end of the second round. I can't wait to get back at it tomorrow, Frank.
We got a great leaderboard right now, Rich. So many players in contention. Golf course, there's enough blend of good and hard holes. Really, it's up for grabs.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. Wayward from the tee. And this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Just in the first cut of rough. Not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Pretty good stroke right there, just to hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Settles in over the putt. Don't leave it short. Wow. Just a couple of feet. Frank, it's been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey.
Yeah, it's not exactly a small gap between that player there and the rest of the field. That gap's got to feel like the Grand Canyon right now. Oh, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. Going to need a little bit of luck.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but